All right. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We are live, everybody. Good morning. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday already, so I'm going to give it a second here while everybody hops on. But today, super excited. We're going to be talking about construction. And when flipping houses, construction is just so important because your contractor, if you pick the wrong contractor, it's really going to affect your project, your timeline, your profit margin. And, over the years, I've worked with many different contractors, and some really good and some really bad. And I can tell you, the really bad ones cost me a lot of money. And here's why. A project that might take, 60 or 90 days, if you're working with the wrong contractor, that could take 8, 9, 10 months. And if you have carrying costs at $4,000 a month and that contractor cost you 7 months of delay, you're losing $28,000 in carrying costs that should have been profit. So again, construction is very, very important. Last night we had Jeff on the mentorship for Homeschooled, and he was the main contractor for Flip or Flop. So last night Jeff was on with all of our students for almost 3 hours talking everything construction, training, teaching, coaching. And it was so great that I decided today I wanted to talk construction with you guys. Obviously, I'm not a contractor. Obviously, I'm not Jeff from Flip or Flop, but I'm going to do the best I can today to answer your construction questions and kind of share my insight when it comes to the construction industry. Also, I wanted to say we had such an incredible, absolutely incredible live event on Saturday. I mean, the energy in the room was phenomenal. Everybody was fired up, excited, motivated. And I like to say we all got our batteries charged because there's no way you can go to an event like the one we had at Homeschooled on Saturday and leave that place without being more driven, more determined, more motivated. And honestly, I talk about this all the time. The key to success in this business is making sure the mindset is right. So mindset is everything. You got to fill that brain with positivity. You got to be around the right people, and you got to keep the wrong people away because the wrong people are going to be the people that prevent you from chasing your dreams. And I say it all the time, no real estate investor will ever tell you not to become a real estate investor. So those are my announcements. We had Jeff on yesterday from Flip or Flop, so much fun. The live event on Saturday was just out of this world, and I'm so excited for the next one. And let's talk about contractors. Well, I opened up the call talking about contractors, why they're important, because a good contractor is going to save your timeline and keep you on budget, which in the end can save you dozens of thousands of dollars. Because you have to remember, there are carrying costs on these flips. So if a project should take 2 months and it takes you 8 months, you just spent an extra 6 months on carrying costs waiting for the construction work. So if the payment's $4,000 a month, you just threw away $24,000 in profit. And that's why it's important to find the right contractor going into the project. So let's talk about the type of contractors you're going to want to be looking for. You don't want to look for the custom builder. You don't want to look for the high-end kitchen guy and the high-end bath guy. The type of contractors you want to be working with are contractors that specialize in working with investors just like you and me. Okay, so you want to find contractors that work with property management companies. You want to find contractors that work with other house flippers. And to do that, it takes a little bit of research. So wherever you are in this country or in this world, you want to get the data on who the contractors are in the area working on fixer-upper properties. One of the things I like to do is to jump on Zillow and look at every single property that has sold in your market in the last 6 months or 9 months. Scroll through the photos, and if it looks like it's brand new, if it looks like it's staged, if it looks like a flip, there's a very good chance it is. And here's one of the key signs. When you're looking at the photos, look at the photos of the closet in the bedrooms. If there's no clothing, no shoes, nothing in the closets, that's normally a big sign that it's a house owned by an investor. So make sure you're looking at those photos. So you want to make sure you're working with contractors that work with investors. And I remember, I think it was my second flip I ever did. So here's what happened. It was in the city of Anaheim, California, and I got, how many bids did I get? I think I got 4 bids, and I ended up going with the lowest bid. The gentleman's name was Tony. He worked for the banks, and I went with Tony because his bid was the lowest. It was like 20% lower than everybody else. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go with Tony. And here's what happened. I was like 5 months into my project and they were barely starting to paint. Like we had no progress. It was moving so slow. And then one day I was leaving the house. I drove around the corner and I saw another house had started to be remodeled. And then there was a big sign of the construction company on the fence. And I remember thinking to myself, well, here goes another one in the neighborhood. They're going to be delayed like me. And here's what happened. A couple weeks later, I was back at my flip, and I'm talking like 2 or 3 weeks later. And then I drove back by that house that I saw that just started the remodel, and that house was already done. I couldn't believe it. So now I'm like almost 6 months into my project. I've made almost no progress. And then right around the corner, a house was completely remodeled in like 3 weeks. So what do you guys think I did? Well, I called the contractor that was on the sign, and that's who I started working with. So just remember, use your eyes, use your ears, always look for opportunity, network, talk to contractors, and that's really how you're going to find the good ones. Okay, so let me start taking a look at some questions here. Okay. And by the way, guys, I've been having a lot of fun on these Facebook Lives. And if you guys are having fun too, and you guys want to be included in the calls with Jeff and all the amazing speakers we have coming up, like Pace, Jamil, Investor Go Brett from Bigger Pockets. We have Henry Washington coming from Bigger Pockets. If you guys want to be involved in all that, you got to make sure you book your free strategy session. You've got to check it out because we're just having so much fun within our community. All right, so I'm going to look for our first question here. Daniel. What's up, Daniel? Let's see here. Oh, the screen is moving fast on me. Had 2 posts on the group on working with contractors, the tile and the paint, 2 very different experiences. Yes, those are 2 very different experiences. Tamara, we just had our last event on Saturday. I think the next event is probably going to be February or March of 2023. Okay. Winston Lyon, how do you find the right people? Again, you want to network with real estate agents. So you want to talk to real estate agents. Hey, do you know any contractors that work with investors? You want to check closed sales. Oh, I never finished what I was saying. So you're going to go on Zillow and you're going to look for houses that look like they've been flipped. Once you get that address, I want you to find out who the real estate agent was that sold the house. Find out who the listing agent was. Call the listing agent. Just say, hey, I'm a homeowner in the neighborhood. I saw that you represented a house at 123 Main Street, and I was wondering, can I get the contractor's number so I can get a bid to remodel my kitchen? A lot of times they're going to say no. Sometimes they're going to say yes, and that's why it's a numbers game. Talk to a lot of people until you can find those contractors. Think of yourself like as a detective. When you're a real estate investor, you're a detective. You're always trying to solve problems. You're always looking for clues, right? So it's all about finding answers, and you find answers through research. Yeah, Jeff was great last night. Yeah, he was on until about 7 o'clock, maybe even after. So he was on a long time. All right. We have Aliyah Cherie. I'm from Buffalo, New York, a city that suffered a similar fate as Detroit, Michigan. Many areas are distressed, but they're what I call entry-level suburbs, where the home prices are around 100, 180 for 100 to 180,000 for 1,200 to 1,600 square foot homes. Ideally, where I'd like to start flipping houses. That seems like a fair price point. You know, if the houses are 60, 70, 80,000, that makes me a little nervous. But, you know, up towards the $200,000 range, that's much better. I have $150,000 cash ready to deploy for this new business and would like some tips on how to start. Question 1, what would you suggest that I use my cash for my first flip, or should I finance at least a portion of it, taking into account current market conditions? Okay, this is a lot of questions here. I suggest you go ahead and book your free strategy session, and we can work on getting some answers. But if you have $150,000 and you want to start really investing in real estate, the most important thing you can do before anything is invest in yourself, understand the business, learn the systems, learn the process, and really know what you're doing before you get started. Because the last thing you want to do is take your $150,000, try to invest in real estate, make some bad decisions, and then run out of capital. So it's really, really important that you understand how to do what you're trying to do. So if I were you, I'd go ahead and book a free strategy session and get those questions answered. Tim has a great point. Contractors who also invest in themselves. You want to look for contractors that care about their business, who care about their brand, who want to be more successful, who want to make more money, who want to grow with you. I said it last night on the webinar, with Jeff, we kind of started this journey together. He was sweeping floors and boarding up windows for banks when I met him. And today he's helped me flip, hundreds and hundreds of houses. He's a real estate investor himself, and now he's developing houses. So, there's levels to this game, and it's all about getting started and then getting to the next level and then the next level and the next level. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to coach you guys and mentor you guys and not only help you get started, but help you really create wealth through real estate, because it is a process. Julie Norton, our roofer wanted to charge me 75% at the beginning of the job. That's a big no. And last time I did that, I had to chase the guy down to get him to work. Exactly. We never, ever pay them 75% up front. I went to the job site with one check already made out to him for 50% and let him know he would be paid in full after the final inspection was done. Any suggestions for future contractors? Yes, exact same suggestion. You made the right call. You never, ever pay all that money up front. I would almost prefer you pay them 25% up front, another 25% when they're halfway done, and then the remaining balance when the job is complete and it's been verified by you or someone you trust. Okay. Laura Smith, who is your contractor? I work with about 6 different local companies here in Southern California. Good morning, Kathleen. What's up, Adam? Good morning. Kay loves the Facebook Live. Me too, guys. I'm having fun. Do we book even if you are with homeschooled already? No, if you're already with homeschooled, you're already in with us, and just make sure you're showing up for the Wednesday trainings, the boot camps. And everybody, don't forget, if you're already in homeschooled, today is a very exciting day. The very first time ever, we're going to have Parker Tuck from Targ Buys Houses. He's my director of real estate, and he's going to be coming on teaching everyone how to comp properties and also doing a live deal review. So if you have any deals you're thinking about writing an offer on, make sure you bring them tonight, because we're going to be reviewing the deals live. And that's the best way to learn. The best way to learn is watch the professionals analyze real estate. And Parker is one of the best in the business. So you got to make sure you show up tonight. Sonia, yeah, within Homeschooled, we provide everything necessary for your house flipping business. And if there's something that is missing, then you just let me know and I'll make sure I get it to you guys. Beatrice, how do I ask my contractor to just finish the job? He's been pushing off the last touches, claiming his team is sick. He literally just needs to add faucets, shower head, etc. And this is why the people you work with is so important. You have to be able to rely on them. You have to be able to trust them, and you need to work with good people that actually care about you. So, Beatrice, if I were you, I don't know the full extent of the situation, but I would call the contractor and, as nice as possible, explain that every single day the house isn't done, it's costing you money you just can't afford. And while you're waiting for these little items to be done, you're spending hundreds of dollars a day on carrying costs. And you beg them to please help you stop the bleeding and please come finish this job. And if they don't do it, go find someone else. That's what I think. Joe Perez, do you hire a contractor that includes material and labor, or do you prefer to buy materials yourself and pay for labor only? Honestly, I like full transparency going into a project. So I want my contractor bidding out all the labor and all the material, so I know exactly what a project's going to cost. Plus, my focus is to go find more houses. If I'm worried about buying materials and figuring out how much I'm spending, well, that's taking me away from activities that are going to make me money. The number one money-making activity in this business is finding deals, and there's no better place to spend your time. Laura, does your contractor have multiple teams to work more than one rehab job at once? Or do you have to find multiple contractors to be able to cover all of your rehabs? Multiple contractors. So I think we work with about 6 different general contractors, and each contractor gets a couple projects at a time. So, you give 6 contractors, 5 houses each, you're doing 30 projects. Okay, this is from Jake. My wife and I turned our old primary residence into a rental. Smart. The current carpets are in need of some TLC. Not overly terrible, but some minor pet stains. Do you recommend getting a deep wash clean, replace the carpet, or put in vinyl flooring, which is twice the cost but looks nicer and won't need to be replaced as often as carpet? If you plan on keeping this as a rental long term, I would definitely do the vinyl flooring. You want to invest on the front so you have less headaches on the back. You'll never have to clean those carpets again. You don't have to call. You don't have to set appointments. You're not losing time. Get it done once, costs a little bit more, set it and forget it. Sorry guys, but I lost some of the questions, so I'm just going to start with what I see here. Have you ever flipped in New York? I think we've done 2 deals on the East Coast, New York, Brooklyn area. Yes. Julie Norton, 25%, 25%, rest on the final inspection. Yes, exactly. Okay, let me find the next question here. Comping is tricky today with things dropping every week. Comping is a little bit trickier today, and that's exactly why we're doing the live deal review and the comping tonight. And that's where you're really going to learn how to analyze deals in today's market conditions. The free strategy session is all about homeschooled, what we provide, as well as what your goals are. What are you looking to do? What are you trying to accomplish? And how can we get you there? So it's about creating a strategy to help you find success. The average price for a contractor, there's no average price for a contractor. There's no average price for a contractor. The next question is, Patricia, is there a monthly membership to join Homeschooled by Tarek? By the way, congratulations on all of your accomplishment. Thank you, Patricia, so much. To be part of the mentorship, there is a fee. To learn more about that, all you got to do is book your free strategy session, and they'll cover everything with you. Julie Norton, small win. I found a new electrician. Question: best way to find a contractor in a new area for work? Network with real estate agents. Find other houses that are being flipped. Find out who the contractor was, and also look online and check Yelp and make sure you read reviews. Funding companies that are asset-based. I don't know that are completely asset-based on the top of my head, but we do have preferred partners within Homeschooled. So if you book your strategy session, make sure you ask for our preferred lending partners, and they can help you there. Tammy, I've been told to stay away from flips right now and look at seller financing or renting. Your opinion? I'm not sure who told you that, but unless they've been investing in real estate and doing a ton of deals, don't take their advice. It is always a great time to flip houses as long as you're buying it at the right price. And if flipping houses makes you a little uncomfortable because of market conditions, you can always wholesale real estate, meaning you get a contract locked up and you assign it to a third-party buyer, and you're safe because the market goes up, the market goes down, it doesn't matter, you don't own the house. Is it a good idea to give them a 5% bonus if they finish on time? If they don't, deduct 5%. That could be a slippery slope because next thing you know, they start lying to you about timelines so you can get it done faster so they can get their bonus. So I wouldn't do that. I would say the bonus to the contractor is continuing to get the work from you. The live event today where we're doing the deal review is at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Aaliyah, there's a shortage of contractors in my market. I've called 20 and all are booked for 5 to 7 months out. Any suggestions? Yes, we're gonna have to call more contractors and go hang out at Home Depot, walk around, talk to people, whatever it takes to make contacts. Utilize real estate agents, talk to other investors, look at properties that were flipped, ask the real estate agents for the contractor's name and number, and just get out there and do everything you can to find out who the best contractors are. Again, we're detectives here, and we're searching through clues to find what we're looking for. Hadley. Good morning, Hadley. It was great chatting with you last night as a new homeschooled student. So excited to have you on with us. Hadley said, I don't have a lot of capital. I can still be successful, right? You can absolutely be successful. Like I said, if you don't have any capital, you can start by wholesaling. And if you find a great deal and you don't have the capital and it is a good deal, I would be interested in partnering on that deal with you. So you just reach out to me, and if I like the deal, then we can maybe do it together. Tammy, I live in Arizona and have an investment property in California. I live in Arizona and I have an investment property in California. Can I get an equity loan on the one in California? That depends on a few different things. So what you're going to want to do is call a mortgage broker, and just ask them the question and see what they say. But I think you should be able to. But there are some determining factors like DTI and LTV and other things like that they're going to want to look at. Do you provide the contractor with a scope of work report that they can use to send you their bid? Yeah, it's important to let the contractor know what you want to do. So within Homeschooled in our documents, we have a contractor checklist that goes through every item in a house. And what you do is you check all the items that you want fixed or replaced, hand that to the contractor, and then they're able to provide a bid. How do you manage rehabs that are done out of state? Well, one, make sure you're working with someone you trust. And two, utilize technology. FaceTime, you can see live video walkthrough of your properties, pictures, videos. It's all there through technology. So make sure you're using technology. So if you're working with the contractor, make sure they're sending you videos of the work completed, the work that's going on, and that's how you manage that. Kamal, yes, we do have a special coaching call. It's a live deal review and comping session with my director of sales from Tarek Buys Houses. And he's going to be coming on weekly to really teach you guys how to analyze deals. Adam Quick. If you guys are not in homeschooled, you should be. Yeah, buddy. So Adam is one of our rock star students. Like, you guys, Adam Quick is a real estate rock star. Right now, this guy is working on 11 projects, and he's just a beast, and he's growing and growing and growing, and we've just been having so much fun together, and he's going to do some really big things. Tracy, hello, first time watching your live. Well, hello, thanks for joining today. Happy to be here. Joe Perez, licensed contractor or unlicensed for a deep discount. The majority of small investors, or at least a lot of them, are working with unlicensed contractors because, they're trying to save as much money as possible to get the highest profit as possible. For me, I'm just this point in my life, I'm not willing to take that risk. So I work with licensed, bonded, insured contractors. Because if I have someone unlicensed, they're working at a house, they fall off, they break their neck or break their leg, I'm in big trouble and I'm getting sued. And I really don't want to get sued. Catherine, I'm running into lending issues because I have good credit, W-2 work history, but I don't have cash reserves. How do you overcome that obstacle? Well, a lot of times it's going to be based on the property itself, especially with hard money lending. So my suggestion to you would be book your free strategy session and make sure you talk to the team about our preferred lending partners, set up a qualifying call with them and see how we can help. Do you like investing in multi-units for hold scenarios? Absolutely. So we just, currently I own, within my company, TEM Capital, we have 4 apartment buildings, and we're in the process of developing a self-storage facility in Surprise, Arizona, 202,000 square foot project. And then also, I just announced a couple weeks ago, we're purchasing a 376 unit multifamily complex in Northwest Arkansas. So if anyone tuning in right now is an accredited investor and they want to partner with me on passive income deals, you totally can. And we're 75% subscribed right now. So if you're interested in joining me on this deal, you just got to go to temcapital.co. Again, that's temcapital.co. Good morning, Christian. If a contractor tells you to take out the permits, would you do it or tell them they are responsible for obtaining the needed permits? I would tell the contractor they're responsible for getting the permits. That's their job. Sylvia, fly some in from outside the area. No, I mean, I've seen people do that, and the best way to do it is find boots on the ground, local contractors, and just make sure they're vetted and credible and good people. Yeah, construction's tough right now because everything's been so hot. But like, as we go into this recession, it's going to slow down for the construction industry, mostly because people aren't going to be refinancing their houses anymore, which means they're not borrowing against their houses anymore, which means they're not going to have money to go out there and remodel their kitchen and remodel their bathroom and install a pool and do additions. Because the interest rates are now close to 7%, which means people aren't going to be going from a 2.5% rate to a 7% rate. Would you consider buying a wholesale property in Canada? Yeah, I'd probably consider that if the deal was good. Sure. Thoughts on partnering with a contractor, 50-50, split on purchase price, rehab, and profits. If the contractor has skin in the game, this could incentivize him or her to work faster. Yeah, so maybe, they work faster and they get the job done, saves you 10,000 on construction, but maybe you're giving away 50,000 of profit to save that 10,000. So for me, I wouldn't give up half to the contractor unless, of course, the contractor brings you the deal. If a contractor brings you the deal, yes, 50-50 is great. If they're not bringing you the deal, no, I would just hire the contractor. Yvette Dubois, I am not good at design of residential exteriors and do not know areas to target exteriors that are meaningful to ROI. Any suggestions to bolster related understanding and how to learn exterior design? Yes, the easiest way possible, looking at photos. So if you're flipping a house in a neighborhood, you're going to look at every single house for sale in escrow and that's sold in the last 6 months, scroll through all of the pictures, and pick the house you like and make your house look similar to that house. It's all about emulating and enhancing. You don't need to come up with this stuff on your own. You just need to use your eyes and find what you like and then copy it. Simple as that. Juliet, is it better to use the equity in your home in Florida to get capital or a hard money lender to do the BRRRR method? Honestly, that's a personal preference type of thing. I think that's more of a personal preference type of thing. For me, I would always utilize, an equity line at a low rate. And then also I utilize hard money lenders. So maybe both. Patricia, how much can we charge in this market doing wholesaling? That just depends on the deal. If you lock up a house for $200,000 that needs $200,000 in work and it's gonna be worth $1 million, you could probably get a $300,000 or $400,000 wholesale fee, right? So there's no cap on what you can have as a wholesale fee. It just depends on what you acquire the house for or what you get the contract signed at compared to what it's worth. So right now I have wholesale fees where we're doing 10, 20, 30,000. I have wholesale fees where we're doing 100,000, right? So it's case by case. All right, everybody. I think we have one more question for today. Aurelie, so glad you love homeschooled. So glad you're learning a bunch. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's see here. All right. Well, I think today's session has come to an end. I talked really fast, and I think this is recorded, so you guys can go back, take some notes. And don't forget tonight, super exciting. We have the live deal review with Parker Tuck. That's going to be at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. Last night we had Jeff from Flipper Flop. So if you guys want to get involved in our family, join our community. Don't forget to schedule your free strategy session, and I will see you all next week. Have a great time.